Hi everybody, it's me Willow and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm back with another fun video for all of you guys. It is a little bit different from my normal videos, but we are now officially into the awards season and we have our first awards show that has put out their nominations, and that is the Gotham Awards. Yesterday they put out their nominations and I thought I would break them down with all of you guys. I really do love the Gotham Awards. I've been following them for the last 3 years, I think, kind of around since COVID is when I really got into film and also more independent cinema. And, I found the Gotham Awards, and I think it was really the year of Charles Melton winning Best Supporting Actor at the Gotham Awards that I really, dived into this awards show and what it has to offer. So I thought I'd break down all of the nominations that have been announced, because even though this is independent cinema, it does give us a good indicator of some of the films that, the critics and everybody have been looking at and have been leaning towards. So let's get into the breakdown. So, coming from the Gotham Awards website, the Gotham Awards honors visionary talent in front and behind the camera, expands the audience for groundbreaking film and television, and supports the year round work for nonprofit, the Gotham Film and Media Institute. And coming from this Variety article, it notes that this is the third year since the organization has removed the limit on budget caps for awards consideration. So, in previous years, to be eligible for the Gothams, a film budget couldn't exceed 35 million. So this is very notable because One Battle After Another is a very big taking home the nominations here at the Gotham Awards, and they definitely have a way bigger budget than 35 million. So I do think that's quite interesting to note, just because this is a more independent based film awards, and this is where we can kind of look at some of the smaller projects that have been pushed out throughout the year, and we can see, more notable ones that people have been recognizing and talking about, but maybe some other smaller pictures that have kind of brushed under the radar for more of the general public. So that's why I really do love the Gotham Awards, but I do think it's notable to mention how they don't have the cap anymore. So some bigger films like a Warner Brothers picture from One Battle After Another, but that is from a notable independent filmmaker like Paul Thomas Anderson. So there is kind of some crossover, but we do have, smaller studios that are more independent based. So the biggest category is Best Feature, and we have 10 movies here that have been nominated, and we have Begonia, East of Wall, Familiar Touch, Hamnet, If I'd Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Lurker, One Battle After Another, Sorry Baby, The Testament of Anne Lee, and Train Dreams. So I think this is a very solid list. There's a couple here that I have not seen. I haven't seen Train Dreams. I missed that at TIFF. I could not get into one of the rush lines. It was completely sold out. So I know that it's been getting some good word of mouth, so I'm very excited for when it comes to the theaters, and it goes to Netflix, I believe, in December, so I'm very excited about that. I also have not finished Lurker. I'm halfway through the movie, but I find it very anxiety inducing, so I haven't finished it. But after this nomination, I definitely have to go and finish it. I also haven't seen Familiar Touch or East of Wall, and Begonia hasn't come out wide yet, so I haven't had the opportunity to see it, but it does this weekend, so I'm planning to see it this weekend. But East of Wall I've heard of. It says it's Sony Picture Classics, but I also think it's with Mongrel Entertainment, which is in Canada. I have not heard of Familiar Touch, so I'm gonna have to look into that one. But it also got a couple other nominations, I believe, so it must be popular with some of the independent critics. But love to see Hamnet, If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, One Battle After Another, Sorry Baby, and The Testament of Anne Lee, specifically Sorry Baby and The Testament of Anne Lee. Those two are some of my favorite films of the year. They're in my top 5 of the year for 2025. They are incredible pieces of film, and I'm so happy that they have been nominated for Best Feature because they definitely deserve to be up there. They are incredible pieces of work, just so beautifully made, and definitely big passion behind the lens. So I'd love to see Mona and Ava Victor be recognized for this. So incredible. For Best International Feature, we have Five Pictures. I'm so excited that It Was Just an Accident was nominated. I love that film. Got to see it at TIFF. It was one of my favorites. It's in my top 5 for 2025 at number 2. So I definitely hold this film with really high regards. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to see it again in the upcoming weeks to refresh myself on it, but definitely an incredible film, and I'm so happy to see it nominated. No Other Choice is another nomination. I'm seeing that this weekend at the Forest City Film Festival. So I am so excited and I'm glad that it got nominated. I'm going to be able to give my thoughts with the review that's going to be coming next week. So look out for that. We have Nouveau Vague, so that's really exciting, which is Richard Linklater's new movie talking about the filmmaking of Breathless, the new French New Wave film. So I'm really excited to be able to see this. This is coming out on Netflix later this year, so I'm definitely excited to give it a watch. We have a Resurrection. I have not seen this film, so I'm definitely going to have to do some research on it. It looks interesting with like the photo that they picked. It's kind of like this blue, like fog hazed image. So I'm definitely going to have to look it up and kind of get some more insight on what the film is about. The film is produced by France and China, so very interesting. Obviously, China has a very big film industry and they have quite a lot of movies that do great at the box office. So I'm interested to see because this is an independent film coming from China. I definitely want to be able to see it now that it's got these nominations. So I'm glad that it's on my radar. Last film to be nominated is The Sound of Falling. I'm highly anticipating this film. It's also playing at the Forest City Film Festival, so I might go and see it now that it got this nomination. I tried to see it at TIFF, but I wasn't able to get in. It was so popular. It's been getting lots of good reviews, though I know it hasn't worked for everybody just because it's a very interesting and kind of intense narrative. But I'm excited and I'm glad that I got this nomination. I think looking at the best documentary feature is always a great category because some of the documentaries for, the bigger awards like Golden Globes and the Academy Awards will pop up here. So I'm definitely seeing 2 to 3 possible big nominations that people have already been kind of whispering about is here. So it's very interesting to see that they're here at the Gotham Awards, and I'll be, intrigued to see if they pop up throughout the rest of the awards season or if a couple of them fall off and we have a couple other ones pop in. But we have 2,000 meters to Adrifika. Totally mispronounced that name, but this is a documentary about like the Russian-Ukraine war, and it's about some like a platoon going to this Russian held like space and trying to extract some of the Ukrainian people from that area. There's also like a journalist perspective to this documentary. So that one has been talked about quite a bit for the last few months. I've not had the chance to see it, but it was with PBS, so it's pretty strong. Then we have BLKNWS. terms of conditions. And this one is a very interesting, like, musical documentary. It's about like the shape-shifting exploration of Black history, identity, and the possibility of conceiving a cinematic experience that mirrors the sonic textures of an album. So that seems very interesting. I have not had the chance to see this one, but I'm glad that it's on my radar, and hopefully I'll be able to give it a watch before the awards happen. We have My Undesirable Friends, Part 1, last air in Moscow. This is another Ukrainian Russian war documentary. This is based on some independent journalists in Moscow facing the government crackdown as Russia invades Ukraine, and they're capturing the fight for free speech and the risk of brands and foreign agents in the country as it drifts towards more of an authoritarian regime. So, very interesting. Have not had the opportunity to see this one either, but I'm glad that I've heard about it now so I can have the opportunity to watch it. Definitely, the popularity of the Ukrainian and Russian war has been prevalent in the documentary feature for the last few years since the war has broken out, and it doesn't seem like that's going to stop anytime soon. It's a very relevant timepiece, and it often is featured in the documentary category. Now we have The Perfect Neighbor. This is a documentary that just came out on Netflix. This has also been heavily talked about since it's kind of come into the zeitgeist this year. A seemingly minor neighborhood dispute in Florida escalates into deadly violence, and police body cam footage and investigation interviews expose the consequences of Florida's stand your ground laws. So I think this one's very interesting. It kind of reminds me of this body cam short that was nominated last year. It was my favorite documentary short that was nominated at the Academy Awards last year. I thought it was very, moving, and it just, all the footage was just like CT camerage and also body cam footage. So I think this one will have a similar impact. So I definitely have to give it a watch now that it's available on Netflix. And then my favorite one nominated out of here is Put Your Soul on Your Hand and Walk. I was able to see this at TIFF, and it's definitely a documentary everybody should see. This is very relevant right now. It's based on Palestinian war that's going on specifically in the Gaza Strip. It was featuring Fatima, who was a 24-year-old photojournalist living in the Gaza Strip, and how her and her family and her neighbors were suffering during the war. And it also exhibits how the film was picked up at the Cannes 2025 Film Festival, and the day after it was picked up and announced to the world, she and her family was killed in an Israeli airstrike. So I think it's a very important piece of documentary journalism from Sabit Farsi. So I think it's very important that people go and watch it, and I'm very happy that it was recognized at the Gotham Awards and that Kini Lorb has picked it up. So I'm hoping more people will be able to see it later this year, and maybe it'll pick up at, the Academy Awards. Would be an incredible nomination. For Best Director, we have Mary Bronstein for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Incredible nomination. Really do love that film and the artistry behind it. I do kind of wish it would have leaned a little bit more into the surrealist kind of nature that it had, but am a big fan of that film. We also have Jafar Pahani. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Somebody corrected me in one of my last videos that I was pronouncing it incorrect. So Jafar Pahani. Hopefully that's correct. I'm not supposed to pronounce the N apparently. So he was nominated for It Was Just an Accident, and I'm really happy about that because I think that is such a strong directorial based film. The narrative is so strong, and it's all coming from like his own personal experience and stories that he's heard from people that he's like passed along the way of their experiences in prison and being tortured by the regime. So very happy that this is being acknowledged and that Jafar's work is, being recognized. We have Kelly Richard for The Mastermind. This just came out in theaters, so I haven't had the opportunity to watch it yet, but I'm really excited. It has Josh O'Connor and Alana Haim, so definitely going to give that one a watch. We have Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. I think he'll probably win this category. It's pretty, out of all of the nominations, I think him or Jafar would probably be the strongest to win, but I definitely think One Battle After Another is going to take it home for Paul Thomas Anderson. We also have Oliver Lax for Surat. Lovely to see this nomination. I also am a big fan of Surat and hoping to be able to see it at the Forest City Film Festival happening right now. It's been getting lots of good reviews and kind of like the visionary aspect to it. So, very excited to be able to see it. And congratulations to Oliver for getting nominated. For breakthrough director, we have Constance Sang. Hopefully, I pronounced her name correctly. For Blue Sung Palace, we have Carson Ludd for Epheus. Love that film. It was such a great one. I was able to watch it on Mubi. If you have not watched it, I would definitely highly recommend you guys check it out. It's a great film about like camaraderie and wanting to keep playing the game even though you know it's going to have to come to an end eventually. Such a great film. We have Sarah Freeland with Familiar Touch, also nominated for Best Feature. So great to see that she was also nominated for Breakthrough Director. So definitely have to add that to my watch list this year. We have Akinol Davis Jr. for My Father's Shadow. This was on my list to see at TIFF, but I wasn't able to squeeze it in. So lovely to see that he's being recognized for Breakthrough Director. We also have Harris Dickinson for his debut film Urchin. So lovely to see that he's being recognized as well. For Best Original Screenplay, we once again have Mary Bronstein for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Jafar Pahani for It Was Just an Accident. We have Kleber Mendonca Filoni for The Secret Agent. Totally butchers his name. I'm so sorry. I always pronounce his name incorrectly. I really do need to practice at it because I feel like I'm going to be saying his name quite often in this awards season, so I need to practice it. We have Sorry Baby from Ava Victor. So happy to see this nomination here because I was a really big fan of Sorry Baby. I got to see it earlier this year with Ava in attendance. We got to hear a Q&A from them afterwards. Really great film. So I'm happy that it's being recognized here at the Gothams. We also have The Sound of Falling from Louise Peter and Natasha Zelinsky. So lovely to see this film being nominated. In the Best Adapted Screenplay category, we have No Other Choice, which is from Park Chan-wook. So happy for No Other Choice. I'm really excited to see it this weekend. We have One Battle After Another from Paul Thomas Anderson. We have Pillin from Harriet Leighton. Love to see this nomination. I'm really excited to see this later this winter. It's coming out before the end of the year. I think it's coming out at like Christmas time. So really highly anticipating this one. I'm so excited. It has Alexander Skarsgård and Harry Mellon in it, so I'm really excited about it. So lovely to see that it's being nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. So love to see that. I have to read the book. I think it'd be a very interesting book to read before watching the movie. We also have Preparation for the Next Life. I've not heard of this one, but it's with Orion Pictures and Amazon MGM Studios, so it should be able to see it hopefully. It's from Martina Majok. We also have Train Dreams from Clint Bentley and Greg Quegger. So I'm super excited to see that once it comes out on Netflix. We have from Outstanding Lead Performance, here we go, guys. We have Jessie Buckley from Hamnet. Here we go. It's a shoo-in. She's going to collect at every single awards show, I think. I don't know if she's going to win this one because there's some other really strong, like, like nominations in this category, and because it's the independent, I don't know, but Jessie Buckley there for Hamnet, she's an independent darling, so lovely to see her nominated. We have Lee Byung-hun from No Other Choice. We have Rose Byrne from If I Had Legs I'd Kick You. We have Soap Derez from My Father's Shadow. Again, sorry for the pronunciation. We have Ethan Hawke from Blue Moon. A lot of people have been discussing this one. Just came out on theaters, so I'm definitely going to have to go drive to one of my independent cinemas to be able to go see it. We have Jennifer Lawrence for Die My Love. So excited. It's finally coming out this month with the new edit, so I'll be excited to see what the performance looks like now since it's been changed from the festival run. We have Wagner Moura from The Secret Agent. A lot of people have him at the top of their best actor like category, so I feel like I'm going to have to move him in because The Secret Agent has been getting lots of good buzz as of late. We have Joss O'Connor for The Mastermind, Amanda Seyfried from The Testament of Anne Lee, and I'd love to see Tessa Thompson for Hedda. I don't know if Hedda's dead yet. They've been really starting to up the ante with the press for it, so I'm excited for it. It's coming out at the end of this week on Amazon, so I'll be excited to give it a watch. In Outstanding Supporting Performance, we have Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another. Love to see him. He was one of my favorite performances in the film. He is such a standout, so love to see him here in Outstanding Supporting Performance. We have Jacob Elordi in Frankenstein, which is definitely such an incredible supporting performance, probably the best performance in the film, so love to see him here. We have Igna Isbradort Lisna. I really need to practice my pronunciation for these actors' names, but so happy to see her nominated because she was my favorite performance in Sentimental Value next to Stellan Skarsgård, and I've been worried that maybe she would be pushed out for Elle Fanning, so happy to see her here. Also, so happy to see Inda Moore from Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. I really want to see this, but I don't think I'm going to have the opportunity to see it until it comes out wide. But I'm so excited that Inda is represented here. I've loved them since Pose and Saturday's Church, so love to see that they're being nominated for this new film. We have Wuma Mosaka from Sinners. We have Adam Sandler from Jake Kelly. We have Andrew Scott from Blue Moon. We have Alexander Skarsgård from Pillin. We have Stellan Skarsgård from Sentimental Value. We have two Skarsgårds nominated in the same category, father and son. That is so incredible. Love to see that. And then we have Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another. What an incredible category of nominations. I love every single one of these performances that I've seen so far, and all the other performances that I haven't seen just yet, I've heard are really good as well. So this seems to be a really competitive category. And then for breakout performance, we have A$AP Rocky for Highest to Lowest. I've yet to see Spike Lee's newest film, but now that A$AP has been nominated, and he was incredible in If I Had Legs I'd Kick You as well, I really do think I should see Highest to Lowest as soon as possible. It's my goal to see it before the end of the year. I'm trying to get as many 2025 watches under my belt as possible, and I love to see A$AP recognized for this performance, so I need to give this one a watch. We have Sibta Batari for Preparation for the Next Life. Again, sorry for the mispronunciation, and I have not heard of this film, but again, like I said, it's with Orion and Amazon MGM, so definitely excited to give it a watch when it becomes more available, and I'm gonna have to do some research on it. We have Chase Infinity for One Battle After Another. I think this is such a positive nomination for her, really helping her to get her name out there with the other critics. And I really do think we're going to see her in that leading category for like Golden Globes and maybe even the Academy Awards. So definitely the long list. So I'm really excited to see that she's being nominated in these other categories. So I'll be intrigued to see if she gets nominated in these other awards ceremonies coming up. We have Abdu Sangria for Soliman's Story, and we have Tuhula from The Kiss of the Spider Woman. I've yet to see this one. It's also on my box office and like award season film leagues that I'm in, so I do need to give it a watch. It has been in the theaters for the last couple weeks, but I just haven't been able to go see it because it's not been playing near me. It's like playing an hour away, so definitely want to see it because I do love like all the costumes and the musical elements, and I really do love Diego Luna, and I'd love to see Jennifer Lopez's performance in it as well. But Tahula has definitely been getting the best praise since the movie's come out, so love to see that they've also been recognized for breakout performance. So seems like this is a very interesting category. I always love looking at the breakout performances because if you look at the past breakout performances, there's definitely some really notable names that have been able to grow their careers since they've been nominated at the Gotham. So excited to see Chase and Tahula in this as well as ASAP, and love to be recognized. And I also love to see the other two nominations as well because now they're on my radar and I'm going to go check out their movies and hopefully, launch their careers a little bit more. So really excited about this category. All right, that is all of the nominations for the Gotham Awards. I'm so excited. This is the first awards show of the season, first nominations of the season. It is just I'm so excited. Like, I don't know what to say except the fact that I'm excited. These dropped yesterday and I was just like, oh, I'm so excited. I really do love the features. I love that there's a good mix in there. A lot of the notable names that we've been talking about during the festival season, but also some smaller names that maybe we've been talking about a little bit, but a couple that have not even been on my radar. So that's what I love about the Gotham Awards, that it's not just, the super big mainstream films, but it's a lot of the smaller films as well that have a lot of big artistry and beautiful actors, performances, directions, and they just don't always get acknowledged by the critics or by the general public. So I love that the Gotham Awards are there and they're able to acknowledge some of these smaller projects. I do think the fact that they don't have the cap anymore is interesting. It's great because I do think independent films have evolved and they do get bigger budgets sometimes, like One Battle After Another. Like, we would say this is more of like an independent film, but the fact that it has a huge budget and it's also being produced by Warner Brothers, technically it's not an independent film, but it's coming from an independent director, So he's doing the film from an independent lens, but he's been given a box office and big production budget, So very interesting to see, but I think it's interesting to also compare, films like One Battle After Another compared to If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, which had like a significantly smaller budget. So I do think it's, intriguing and fascinating that we don't have this cap anymore of the $35 million budget. We can go above that. So I do think that's intriguing and has obviously changed the landscape of the Gotham Awards in the last couple of years since I've kind of came on and started following it. It definitely was more of a huge independent supporter and wanted to project those voices in cinema, but now it kind of has a different limit. It doesn't necessarily always hone in on those smaller performances like One Battle After Another, but we don't see like Leo being nominated. We see Chase being nominated. So I do think that's an interesting conversation. So if you guys have some thoughts on that, I'd love to hear all of your guys' opinions in the comments below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and post notification so you don't miss out on any of my videos this upcoming award season. I will be posting my November awards predictions in the first week of November. So that's coming out really soon, so make sure you hit those notification buttons so you don't miss out when I post. I'm also posting other film videos and film reviews coming up in the next couple of weeks, so don't miss out, guys. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed my thoughts on the Gotham Award nominations. If you have any other thoughts, make sure you leave it down below. I love having conversation with you guys. I always try to reply to all the comments if I can. And if you guys are interested in finding me on other social medias, go look for me on Letterboxd, the Awards Expert app, and TikTok. I'm on there on all of them for Willow D. Steele, so go find me and give me a follow. I appreciate that my community is growing and I'm able to find other cinematic lovers like you guys while this award season is really starting to heat up. All right, thank you guys so much for supporting me and giving this video a watch. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!